primesc un bună dimineața călduros de la voi.
Mă bucur că sunteți aici și aș dori să încep prin a vă invita pe voi să vă aplaudați pe voi. Deci, încă nu. De ce? Pentru că ați făcut efortul să veniți astăzi aici și v-ați dedicat timpul să petreceți 3 ore împreună cu alți oameni minunați, așa ca și voi, să vedeți cum puteți să vă schimbați viața. Pentru că acesta este primul pas. Deci acum vă invit să vă aplaudați pe voi! Mulți dintre voi mă cunoașteți că vorbesc de smart business. Și vă întrebați ce se întâmplă cu acest eveniment. Ei bine, am constatat că business nu există fără persoane. Și am constatat că un lider de business adevărat evoluează în permanență. Pentru că probabil știți, un business nu poate să depășească barierele pe care le are persoana care a înființat acel business. Drept pentru care mi-am propus să aduc în România și partea de dezvoltare a liderului de business. Unii dintre voi probabil că ați venit aici pentru o carieră mai bună, unii probabil că ați venit să aveți o relație mai bună, sau să vă găsiți relația ideală, sau unii pur și simplu ați venit din curiozitate. Ați venit din curiozitate pentru că ați auzit numele Tony Robbins și vreți să știți despre ce este vorba. Mie personal, Tony Robbins mi-a schimbat viața. Și știind că este cel mai bun, eu vreau să învăț de la cei mai buni, am zis, este datoria mea, fiind româncă, să îl aduc în România pe cel mai bun. Dacă ați auzit, probabil știți, a schimbat viețile a peste 4 milioane de oameni și îmi doresc să schimbe în continuare viețile a multor români. Obiectivul meu este să-l aduc pe Tony Robbins personal în România. Acesta este primul pas. Și ce pot eu acum să fac este, și o să vedeți că speakerul o să vă povestească despre ce este vorba, să vă invit pe voi cât mai mult să mergeți la Unleash the Power Within, UPW de la Londra, pentru că acesta este primul pas adevărat în schimbarea multor vieți. Probabil că vă așteptați, dacă ați mai fost la evenimentele mele, știți că va exista o ofertă specială pentru acest eveniment, astăzi, valabil astăzi, pentru cine e gata să treacă la acțiune și să meargă mai departe în schimbarea vieții, va avea posibilitatea să facă astăzi, aici. Mai am un anunț de făcut. Facem live streaming. De ce? Pentru că mulți români au cerut să poată să accesa acest eveniment și nu au putut să vină. Pentru că am zis măcar jumătate de oră din acest eveniment să le oferim online. Vă considerați o persoană care îi place să-i ajute pe alții? Cine? Cui îi place să-i ajute pe alții? Ridicați vă rog mâna. Super! Vă invit pe toți cei care ați ridicat mâna să dați un share, un like și un share la live streaming-ul care se întâmplă chiar acum. Deci chiar acum vă invit să scoateți telefoanele din buzunar, dați un share, un like și scrieți numele vostru în comentariu. De ce să scrieți numele vostru în comentariu? Dacă vreți să fiți într-o tombolă în care primiți una din cele 7 volume ale cărții Afaceri fără limită pe care eu am scris-o și am publicat-o, a fost bestseller și acum am publicat-o și în română. Nu toate volumele sunt în română, dar puteți să câștigați în engleză, pentru că știți deja limba engleză, altfel n-ați fi aici. Deci, like, share, este pe pagina mea. Streaming-ul este pe pagina mea, ca să ajungă acest eveniment la cât mai mulți oameni din România, chiar acum, live. Deci, like, share și scrieți comentariul și vom avea o tombolă la final, după ce se termină prezentarea. Vom pune toate numele din care au comentat, vom pune toate numerele într-o tombolă și va fi un câștigător care va primi un exemplar al cărții pe care am scris-o. Este de business. Dacă nu sunteți în business, o puteți oferi cadou la cineva. Și acum, aș vrea cuvinte despre speakerul care eu consider că ne onorează pentru faptul că a acceptat să vină astăzi aici. Este speaker internațional de 18 ani, unul din top 3 speaker ai lui Tony Robbins. Trăinuiți personal de Tony Robbins. And actually, I should have said that in English, so he can hear the praises that I bring for him, but I forgot to switch. So I would like to invite him on stage, and before I do, I would like to invite you to stand up, please, because I'd like to give a very, very welcome, Romanian welcome, to Mr. Allan Kleynhans.
Thank you for being here today. It's great to see so many of you here today. I'm excited to be here. It's my very first time here in București, and my first time in Romania actually. So I've got a lot of friends from Romania. I've got lots of friends in London who are Romanian, and they've been inviting me for many years. This is my very first time, so I'm excited to be here. How many of you know exactly why you came here today? Raise your hand if you know exactly why you came here. Okay, cool. And who doesn't know why they came here? Raise your hand if you're not sure why you came here. Okay, good. And who was dragged here kicking and screaming against your will? Anybody? Oh, a couple of you. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. So it doesn't matter why you're here. It doesn't matter if you don't know why you're here. It will become evident. The reason that you came here today will become evident even if you don't know what that is yet. In fact, if you look under your seat, your name is on your seat. Your seat has been waiting for you. I don't believe in accidents. I believe everything happens for the right reason at the right time. How many of you share that philosophy with me? Raise your hand if you share that philosophy. Thank you. Awesome. That's most of us. How many of you can tell by now that I like asking questions? Raise your hand. Very good. I'm going to ask you questions all day long. And the reason I'm going to do that is because if I ask you a question, you will answer it in your own head, and then it's your truth, not mine. But if I tell you something, then it's my truth, and you may sit there like this and say, I don't agree. So I'm going to ask you questions which will hook your mind. Questions hook the mind, and you can answer the questions in your own mind. I will ask you to engage with me. The reason I like asking questions is I want you to engage with me. How many of you know what accelerated learning is? Raise your hand if you know what accelerated learning is. That's not too many of us. Accelerated learning is the way that we should learn in the 21st century. Because we were all trained to learn in the 20th century style of learning, which means you come into a room like this, which is a classroom style room, and you sit in your chair, and you fold your arms, and you fold your legs, and you fold your eyebrows. And you don't talk. Because that's what you were taught to do when you entered the schooling system. They told you to sit down and don't talk until the bell goes. So when the bell goes and you know where to go, then you sit down and you don't talk. Unfortunately, if you learn like that in the 21st century, then you're not going to learn a lot. Because the currency of the 21st century, the currency today, is engagement. Engagement. If you're not engaging, you're not learning. Because you can only learn by absorbing information. And you can only absorb information by engaging. And the more you engage, the more you absorb. And that means later on, 6 months from today, when you encounter a problem, you're going to need to know how to get through the problem, over the problem, underneath it, around it. You're going to need to find a solution. And you have all the solutions you already need inside. And your ability to draw those answers out really depends on how much you engage. People who don't engage get left behind. So today I want to invite you to engage with me. Engage with me, have some fun, make notes, put your hand up, do what I ask you to do, and if you do that, then you're going to get maximum value. Raise your hand if you want maximum value from the time we spent together today. Thank you. That's most of you in the room. Thank you. I would also want to have maximum value if I was you. If I was giving up 5 hours of my day, you know, an hour to get here, taking time away from my family, from my children, from my business, an hour to get home. You know, it's about 5 hours, right, by the time you get home. If I was going to give up 5 hours of my time, I would want to make sure I was going to get maximum value. How many of you would agree? Thank you. I would also want to make sure that if I was sitting in your seat, I would want to make sure that the person on the stage is qualified. How many would agree? Awesome. So I tell you that because I asked you that question because I'm qualified. I've been doing this for 17 years. It's my 18th year actually. 18 years I've been traveling around the world speaking to audiences like this. Small audiences, large audiences. And I know a lot of you came here today because you were expecting to see this guy. Raise your hand if you were expecting to see Tony. Okay. Several of you were expecting to see Tony. I'm not going to say that I'm sorry to disappoint you, because Tony doesn't show up to these kinds of events, and you've got me instead of Tony, right? But the good news is that I've been trained by this man. And I've been trained by Tony now for 18 years. I've been with Tony for 18 years, my 19th year with Tony. And Tony's taught me a lot of things. I've been trained a long time. And I've been traveling the world for the last 18 years, 17 years speaking professionally to audiences like this. Small audiences, large audiences. I've spoken right around the world. Right across Russia, in most cities in Russia, right across Europe, Africa, America. I love what I do. I'm very blessed. It's a great way to make a living. I don't do it for the money. The money's awesome, obviously. The money is awesome. But I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love doing it because I want to make a difference. I'm going to share some of my own story later on as we go through this presentation so you can get a real feel for why I'm here today. And as Ozana said, the reason that we put something like this on is we want to make Tony's work available to more people. Because Tony is a unique individual. How many of you are fans of Tony already? Raise your hand if you're already a fan of Tony. You follow him online. How many of you are big fans of Tony? Alright, awesome. So Tony's a unique individual. And unfortunately, most people only get to see Tony online. But when you get to spend time with Tony in a small, intimate environment on a regular basis for 18 years, you get to see that Tony is exactly the same person on stage as he is off stage. And there's very few individuals like that in this industry that I'm in, the personal development industry. There's not a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people who are very different when they're on stage, when they're off stage. Tony's the same person. And he's driven by one mission, one purpose. Tony wants to end suffering for all human beings. And what I'm going to tell you right now is the truth that all human beings are suffering with all the time. You are all suffering. Most of your day, you spend suffering. What does that mean? That means most of your day, you spend it in a disempowering emotion. Why? Because you're an achiever. And achievers spend most of their time stressed about the next target. Raise your hand if you agree. Thank you. Raise your hand if you disagree. Thank you. It's okay too. You're free to disagree, right? Because I'm only going to give you my perspective, my experience, from my opinion. So what I'm going to say here today is not the whole truth, nothing but the truth. It's my truth. It's my experience. But as a coach, as somebody who works with organizations and big brands and works with leadership teams all around the world, I see most people who are achievers, or also most of the time they spend their time stressed. Most of the time they're frustrated, angry, overwhelmed, or depressed. They won't admit it, but it's the truth. Because they're stressed. And most of the time they say, I'm stressed. And really what they're saying is, I'm afraid. That's the truth. Stress is a fancy word for fear. The truth is, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I might not hit my target. I'm afraid she might leave. I'm afraid he will leave. I'm afraid this is not going to work out. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my money. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my business. I'm afraid people are going to find out I'm not as good as I think I am. These are all the things that are going on in the back of your mind. So today I'm going to give you a crash course into personal psychology, practical psychology, so you can understand exactly what's going on inside your head. Because this is where you live. And this little thing up here, your brain inside your head, and you also have a mind, you have access to 3 minds. 3 minds that you have access to. The first one is the conscious mind. And your conscious mind is the part of your mind that's thinking about the text message you need to send, or the email that you need to reply to, or the things that you have on Monday morning in the office. That's your conscious mind. However, your conscious mind, through nurture and training, since you were that big, from the moment you popped out of your mother's tummy, Even while you were in your mother's womb, you were being trained by your mother's emotional reactions to her daily lifestyle. So you were being trained by the emotional responses or the reactions that your mother was going through even while you were in the womb. But from the moment you popped out, you were being trained by the parents that raised you, the guardians that raised you, the people that raised you. And when you looked up at your mother and your father, they were gods in your eyes. They were giants, and they couldn't do anything wrong. And so from the moment that you were born, they were training you, and what happened was that your conscious mind becomes critical. Your conscious mind becomes critical over a period of time. It doesn't take too long before your conscious mind becomes critical. And then most of the time, most people, 99% of all human beings in the world today, in the Western world especially, 99% of all human beings are consciously and unconsciously criticizing their environment all day long. Criticizing other people, criticizing the environment, criticizing experiences, criticizing everything. They don't realize it, but they're doing that all the time. Because the brain is always evaluating. The brain evaluates everything. The brain is always asking two questions all the time. What does it mean? What should I do? And when you ask what does it mean, either consciously or unconsciously, if it doesn't fit into your box, then you judge it. Raise your hand if you follow. Thank you. Now, this conscious mind is creative by nature. It's creative by nature. In other words, you have an imagination and you are able to put any picture of any type onto the screen of your mind at any time. I'm going to repeat that because it's so powerful and it's so important and it's something that most of us have forgotten about. You can put any picture of any type onto the screen of your mind at any time. Even if you are going through a tough challenge, even if you are broke, even if you have just lost somebody that you love, even if somebody that you love is just passed over. Doesn't matter what you're going through, at that moment, you still have the freedom to put any picture of any type onto the screen of your mind. And if you breathe enough life into that picture using emotion, then you can turn that picture from invisible into visible. You can make the invisible visible. That's called a miracle in some languages. And a lot of you have forgotten about that. You've forgotten that you're miraculous and you're creative by nature. You have the ability to create anything you want to. And the reason that most people are not creative is because they're critical. And they've been trained to be critical by their parents first. Not only their parents, but initially by their parents. Because even as a parent, raise your hand if you're a parent. That includes me, I'm a parent too. I've got a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, a boy, the oldest, and a girl. Daniel and Amber, my pride and joy. No matter what I achieve for the rest of my life, they will always be my greatest success. There will be nothing ever greater than that. However, I know that I have also unconsciously and consciously projected my own fears and my own expectations onto my children. Even though I'm a conscious human being, even though I've been studying this information for 30 years, I've been a student since the age of 21. I was a student before the age of 21 too, but not a good one. I wasn't an academic. I wasn't interested in school in any way. But from the age of 21, when I came across a different kind of education, a different type of knowledge, specific and organized knowledge, then I became a proper student. And I've been a student ever since. And I'm 51 years young this year. And I'm still learning. And throughout that 30 years of learning, I've learned psychology, I've studied psychology, physiology, neurology, you name it, I've studied. I'm a walking encyclopedia. I've got an amazing memory. I never had a memory like I did when I was 16 when I was studying history. Because I wasn't interested in history or biology or mathematics. I wasn't good at maths, I failed maths. But when I came across psychology at the age of 21, a light went on inside me. And I thought, wow, this is the kind of information we should be teaching children. And I became an avid student, and I've been a student ever since. And when you study psychology, even if you study conventional psychology or spiritual psychology, it doesn't matter what kind of psychology you study. If you look at all the geniuses of psychology, the Jungs, the Freuds, the Jameses, if you study all of these people, they all still come up with the same conundrum, the same challenge that they haven't quite been able to find the answer to yet. Why does a child blame themselves when something goes wrong between themselves and their parents, or when something goes wrong with their parents? The child will always look at themselves and say, what did I do wrong? Because we are meaning-making machines. We're meaning-making machines. And so we have 3 minds. And the second one is the unconscious mind. And your unconscious is taking care of everything that you don't need to think about. Your heartbeat, your blood flow, your immune system, your digestive system, takes care of all of that stuff. And a lot of us can drive unconsciously. If you've been driving for as long as I have, then you don't really think about driving anymore. You just get in the car, turn the key, and you get to your destination, and you don't even remember the journey. Because while you were driving, you had coffee between your legs, your knee was on the steering wheel, looking out the window, your phone in your hand, you know, you're doing all the things you're not supposed to do, and you're not even conscious about where you're going or what you need to do with the gear levers. Because you're unconsciously competent in that particular area. Raise your hand if you understand. Awesome. So, then you have another mind. You have access to another mind. This is the superconscious. The superconscious. And this is the domain of your soul. The superconscious. That's your connection to everything around you. Everything is connected. Nothing is separate, including you. How many of you agree with that philosophy? You agree with me? Awesome. That's not all of you. But if you study quantum physics, if you study physics, you see that basic law of physics means that everything is energy. Energy is everything. Everything is connected, nothing is separate. So you have access to 3 minds. Unfortunately, most people, their entire lifetime, get trapped in this mind right here. And they go through 75 or 80 years of their life stuck here, doing the same thing every single day, and they call it a life. It's the same day every day for 75 or 80 years, and then they die and they call it a life. That's not a life. A life means being fully self-expressed. A life means doing what you love, even if other people don't agree with you. It means following your heart. It means stop listening to the critic in your head. There's a critic that lives inside your head. I call it a critic. You could call it a policeman if you want to. You could call it a conscience. It doesn't matter what you call it. But it's a little voice that talks, and it talks a lot when it's not supposed to talk, especially when you're trying to go to sleep at night time. And it's always talking. Always worrying about what you didn't do that day or what you should be doing the next day. How many of you have got more than one voice in your head sometimes? Like me. Sometimes you have a choir of voices. Everyone's talking at the same time. There's so much noise. You don't quite understand whose voice it is. You don't quite recognize it. But it's been there as long as you've been alive, and it's familiar. So this is where you live. So from this moment forward, your main intention should be, if you were to ask me as a coach, you say, Coach, what should I do? I'd say that the most important thing for you to do is to become conscious about what you say to yourself all day long. Because when you become conscious about what's going on inside your head, it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. Because a lot of you, most of you, in fact, most people, will suddenly realize the kind of shit that they say to themselves all day long. The kind of negative stuff they say to themselves all day long. But that's a good thing, because once you're aware, then you can choose whether you want to continue saying that or whether you want to say something else. Because you have the freedom to think anything you want to at any time. But most people don't think. Most people think they think, but they're not thinking. Very few people have an original thought. Most thoughts are regurgitated. And in fact, if you study, the numbers are, according to the experts, the numbers are anywhere between 60 to 90,000 thoughts are passing through your mind or your brain every 24 hours. 60 to 90,000. That's a lot of noise. If you could whittle that down to 6 to 9,000, wow, you've got a whole lot more silence there. And when you've got silence, inspiration can come through. Most people are not inspired because there's no space for inspiration, because there's just too much noise. Blah, 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 all day long. Complaining, complaining, complaining. Always focusing on what's missing. Always focusing on what's missing, what they've lost. And so there's no space for inspiration. So when you can silence the critic, the goal is to become conscious. So you can silence the critic here, and then you can encourage the creative. Because as I said, you are creative by nature. You're always creating. The problem is, a lot of us are creating the stuff we don't want. And we don't even realize that we are doing it ourselves. No one's doing it to us or for us. We do it ourselves. So today I'm going to give you an insight to this, and we're going to have some fun. Now, there's 5 things we need to do today. 5 rules. We're going to play a game. How many of you like playing games? Raise your hand if you like playing games. Okay, I'm already worried some of you like this. I love games. Some some of you didn't even put your hand up. Some of you are lying down already, right? So sit up in your chair, right? Take a nice deep breath and exhale. And bring yourself into the room now, into your body. Get present now. Be present. Get in your body. Be in the room now. Whatever happened before you gotcha, let that go. Whatever happened yesterday, let that go too. Get present right now in your body. Now, we're going to play a game now today. While we're together, we're going to play a game. Everything is a game. Life is a game. Right? And unfortunately, most people have forgotten that life is a game. Most people have forgotten that your spirit that manifested in this body, you're a spiritual being, have a human experience for a very short space of time. And your spirit loves to express itself and have fun. And so life is a game. And when you play the game of life, like it's a game, and you are doing the game of life with these 5 rules that I'm going to give you right now, I'm going to give you 5 rules that will support you in your life and in your business and in your relationships. And if you play every game with these 5 rules, including this one today, then we'll get maximum value together. And all of us will get more than we bargained for. All of us will get more than we expected. How many of you would love to get more than you expected? Raise your hand. Thank you. Some of you didn't have your hand up. Don't worry. You don't want more than you expected. Maybe you didn't understand the question. So, rule number 1, right? Rule number 1. And don't rely on your mind to remember this. You should write this down. And remember what I said. These 5 rules will support you in every area of your life. So rule number 1 is always play full out. Rule number 1, play full out. 100%. Don't play 90%. Don't play 80%. Don't play anything less than 100. Play full out. When you play a game, there's no point than playing full out, right? So, rule number 2 is be flexible. Be flexible. And you might want to add to that one, rule number 2, flexibility is power. Flexibility is power. Because the more flexible you are, the more you can bend with the challenges of life. How many of you think that you're going to have some challenges in your life going forward? Raise your hand. Awesome. If you didn't have your hand up now, you're delusional. Because everybody will have challenges. It's part of life. It's designed that way to make you strong, to sculpt your soul, to make you spiritually strong and emotionally strong. Which are the 2 areas that most people are weak in. Most people are weak psychologically, spiritually, and emotionally. And that's why they're inflexible. And when you're inflexible, when you have no flexibility, if life throws a challenge at you that you're not expecting, you break. And when you break, you get bitter. And most people spend most of their life bitter. So you don't want to be one of those people. You want to be flexible. Bruce Lee, the great martial artist. Most people recognize that name, Bruce Lee. And there's probably some martial arts fans in this room, I'm sure. And Bruce Lee said, if you can be like water, then you can be truly powerful. Because water always takes the shape of the container that it's in. Water is the most flexible element on the planet. The most powerful. Because it always gets in everywhere. And it always takes the lowest level. Very powerful. It's also very, very humble. Flexibility is true power. Number 3. Be responsible. Take responsibility. Take responsibility for your results. Today, you came here today for specific reasons. Individual specific reasons. I don't know what those are, but I'm willing to bet that they're very common amongst this group. Because this type of group always attracts like-hearted and like-minded people. So the reasons are very common here, very similar, even if you are individual. How many of you came here alone today? You came on your own? Raise your hand. Wow, awesome. You guys have got the biggest advantage. Because you've got a room full of new friends. A room full of new possibilities. Possible business partnerships. And if you're single, the possibilities are endless. So take responsibility for your results. Because nobody else is responsible for your results. And too many people are walking around in the world today blaming other people. You want to own it. You want to take responsibility. Responsibility. The ability to respond. Very powerful. That means not reacting. Most people are reacting. They're reacting from a program, from a conditioned response that was indoctrinated when they were very young. Number 4, be a team player. Be a team player. Team. This is a team here today. We're all on the same team. Everyone in this room. The team that put this event together, and now all of us here together myself included, we're all on the same team. And while we are playing this game together, let's play the game together as a team. Team means what? T-E-A-M. Together, everyone achieves more. Together, everyone achieves more. If we all play the game full out, number one, 100%. If we're all flexible, and we all take responsibility for our own individual results, and we're all committed to being part of the team, then the whole team will rise to a higher level. And then number 5, my favorite one, have fun. Have fun. If you're not having fun, something's wrong. How many of you like having fun? Raise your hand if you like having fun. Yeah, some of you are boring, like this. Yeah. I like having fun. You can see, I'm Mr. Fun. If you like having fun, you should be like this. Yeah, I like having fun. Yeah? Some of you forgot to tell your face you like having fun. Yeah? It's a simple thing that people forget in the world that we live today. Very few people smile. Just think about it. You should try something out when you leave this room. Every time you walk past a stranger, you should smile at them. They'll think you're loopy. They'll think there's something wrong with you. They'll tell other people to avoid you. They'll say, don't go near that person, he smiles at everybody. And yet it's the most natural thing to do. You look at a child, they're always smiling. They smile at everything. They spend very, very little time upset, children. They get upset, and then they get over it, and then they get fun. And then it changes as we get older, because we become more critical. And now we spend very little time having fun and smiling, and most of the time being stressed and upset. Because nothing fits into our box. When it doesn't fit into our box, then the banana is upside down, instead of the other way around. So today we have some fun. I like having fun. And as I said, if we engage, if you engage with me, you put your hand up, you engage, you do what I ask you to do. If you're flexible, we'll have a lot of fun here today, and you'll get more than you expected. You get maximum value. So now, all of us have a comfort zone. And I know you've heard of this comfort zone before. Raise your hand if you've heard of the comfort zone. This is a comfort zone. This is the zone that we all live in. It's a zone that we're all comfortable in. And we're comfortable in this area. This is you. And anytime something shows up in this area, we know exactly what to expect. It's familiar. We can do it. We can handle it. No problem. But if somebody asks us to go outside of this area, then it's unfamiliar territory. And we don't know what's going to show up outside of here. We're not sure what's going to happen. We might not get it right. And anytime someone asks you to go outside of this area, there's a little voice in your head that says, don't do that. That's uncomfortable. Don't do that. That might be weird. Don't do that. You might fall down. Don't do that. You don't look cool. Don't do that. People are going to laugh at you. Don't do that. That's weird. Anytime you hear that voice, the very next thing you need to say to yourself is you need to say, if I can't, then I must. You should write that sentence down. It's very powerful. I came across that sentence many, many years ago, and I heard Tony say that for the first time. Many years ago, I heard Tony Robbins say, if I can't, then I must. He said, if you just apply that one simple rule to your life, then your whole life will grow. Because every time someone asks you to go outside of that, you hear a little voice that says, oh, you can't do that, don't do that, that's weird. And you say, if I can't, then I must. And you do it anyway, then this circle will widen. And you will grow in confidence. And confidence is what all of us are looking for. What we're all looking for here is certainty. We want certainty. We want certainty to know that tomorrow is going to be a great day. We want the certainty to know that next year we'll have an income. We want the certainty to know that our people that love us will still be around in 10 years' time. We're looking for guarantees and certainty. That's what human beings are addicted to. Give me a guarantee. Give me some certainty. But there are no certainties and there are no guarantees. You need to learn to find certainty inside yourself. You need to be able to back yourself. When you have internal certainty, when you can build internal certainty, you can build muscle. That means you rely on yourself. You back yourself to handle whatever shows up. That means that it doesn't matter what shows up next year, you can handle it. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger. When you've got that kind of certainty, then it doesn't matter what kind of uncertainty shows up. In fact, most people are afraid of uncertainty when really they should be in love with it. Because uncertainty is the breeding ground of opportunity. I never heard it best said than when I heard it from Tony many years ago. I heard Tony say, the quality of your life. Write this down, it's very important. Tony, when I heard Tony say this many years ago, The quality of your life is directly related to the amount of uncertainty that you can comfortably live with. Most people can't live with uncertainty because it's too uncertain. It's too uncomfortable. How many of you like surprises? Raise your hand if you like surprises. That's only half true. You like the kinds of surprises that you know are good for you. True or not? Yeah, because if you get a surprise and it's not good for you, it's painful, you don't like it. So you like the surprises that are good for you, that mean something positive. But what happens if you don't expect it and it's uncomfortable and it's painful? Most people, they shy away from that. They don't want that kind of stuff. They want to live in this area here where it's comfortable. And most people are comfortably uncomfortable. They're tolerating. They're comfortably uncomfortable. It's not great, but it's okay. I can live with it. It could be better, but you know what? It's going to take a lot of work, and it's comfortable there. It takes work to change. And change is scary. And I don't know what's going to show up. What happens if it shows up, and whatever shows up, I don't like it. And I think maybe I should have stayed where I was. Just stay there. Raise your hand if you follow. A lot of you are smiling and nodding your head, so I know you relate to that. So, my friends, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to learn some great stuff. So, this picture here was taken with myself and Tony in 2016, 2 years ago. October this year, it'll be 2 years since I had this picture taken with Tony. I was very excited. As you can see, I'm very happy. And Tony's not standing on a chair. Tony's 6'8". And when you get near Tony, he seems a lot bigger than 6'8". In fact, if you get close up to Tony, you can hear it's like an electrical current. He's only half human, half machine. Some of you. So, he's an incredible human being. An amazing human being. And as I said, he's driven by one mission. How can I end suffering for all human beings? He's an amazing dude. Just exceptional standard of living. Exceptional standard that he demands from himself, and he helps other people to raise their standards. And he inspires people. And the reason we get so inspired by Tony is because he's living life full out. 100%. And he's always done that since he was a young kid. Since he came across personal development. And he started very early on, when he was young. 14, he started reading personal development. When he was at school, they used to call him Mr. Solution. Because he had all the solutions to problems. Because he was always reading personal development as a young person. And then when he was 17, he met Jim Rohn. How many of you heard the name Jim Rohn? An amazing man, Jim Rohn he was. And Jim Rohn became Tony's mentor. And then Tony went to work for Jim Rohn, and he learned a lot of his foundational psychology from Jim Rohn. A great man he was, Jim Rohn. And so Tony started this very early on, and for 40 years he's been number one. Now raise your hand if you're in business. Raise your hand if you're in business here. If you're in business, this will impress you. It impresses the hell out of me. How long does it take for you to go from nowhere, when you start your business, you're brand new, to climb to the top of your industry? It takes blood, sweat, and tears. Would you agree? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah, blood, sweat, and tears. And it takes 15 or 20 years usually, right? And when you get to the top, is it easier to stay at the top or harder? Harder by far. Tony's been number one for 40 years. 40. It's pretty impressive. That's even better than Apple. I know a lot of you Apple fans, right? It's even better than Apple, by far. Tony's been number one. Driven to serve human beings. See, Tony does not do this for the money. He doesn't need to work anymore. But he gets on stage right now, he's on stage right now in San Jose, in America, with 11,000 people. For 50 hours, 4 days, straight. 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the morning. And it goes by like that, because you're having so much fun and you're learning so much powerful information. Now, he doesn't need to do that at 57 years of age. He does it because he loves serving human beings. And the reason I tell you that is because I got a chance to say thank you to him when I had this picture taken, for how much he impacted my life. And I had a chance to say thank you, and I've had several conversations with Tony over the years. Very blessed to be in his trainer group, an elite group of people who have been trained to be trainers. You go through an extensive training period, very intensive, and it takes a long time before you get recognized. And I've been in this environment now for 18 years, and I love it. It's amazing. You make amazing people in this environment, you make amazing friends, you make amazing partnerships, amazing business opportunities are created in this environment. It's an amazing opportunity. and most importantly, the people you meet and the person you become. Because what happens is, in this environment, the standard is very high. So they demand a very high standard of you. You grow as a human being. And it's like Jim Rohn said many, many years ago. He said, it's not about making $1 million. It's about who you become on the way to the million. That's more important than the $1 million. Becoming. And so I had a chance to thank Tony. And we had a picture taken. And it was a great moment for me. Because many, many years before, when I came across Tony's work for the very first time, it was 1990. I had just arrived in London. It was March of 1990, I remember specifically. And I was walking around London, looking for a job. And when I was walking around, I walked into a bookshop. And I said, I need a book to read, because I was a reader at that stage. And I didn't have a book to read at that time. I wasn't reading at that moment. And I said, I need a book. And I walked into the bookshop, and the first book that jumped off the shelf into my hands, and I'm sure it said, read me. You know, that kind of, have you ever been gripped by a book like that, where you just walk into a bookshop and you just notice a book, out of all the other books, the one book grabs your attention, and it kind of jumps into your hands. And this book, on the cover, it said, Unlimited Power, Anthony Robbins. And it was a thick book like this. And I turned it open, I read the back cover, and it said, Anthony Robbins, America's #1 peak performance coach.